Hello, guys. Am I audible? Am I visible? Chanta, am I audible? Am I visible? Just write in the chat if I'm audible. Guys, am I audible? Hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, perfect. Evening, guys. So, okay, how are you? How are you, Janta? How are you? कैसे हो सब? How was your day? I'm very excited. Okay, yes, I am also excited, buddy. Okay, fine. Very excited. Fine, sir. What about you? I'm also good, buddy. Nice hairstyle. Thank you so much, Harsha. Okay, so let's start. एक बार revision कर ले. Let's start with the revision of what we did yesterday. ठीक है? एक बार कल का revision करते हैं and then we will start with the today's session. Okay? Perfect. So yesterday we have seen कि what is weak camera. Yes, baby, Mac का थोड़ा कैमरा है, so हो सकता है weak हो, but anyways कोई बात नहीं, काम चलाओ भाई, ठीक है, मेरे को देख के क्या करना है, पढ़ना है तुम्हें तो पढ़ लो बस, कोई बात नहीं, चलेगा, no worries. Okay, perfect. So yesterday we did something about like HTML and CSS क्या होता है, क्या मतलब क्यों हम use करते हैं, and all those things. Okay, so let's have a quick recap. Okay, so basically what is when it comes to definition of HTML, so how we define a HTML, right? So HTML is nothing but the collection of elements, right? एक HTML क्या था? It was the collection of elements, right? And what are elements then? What are elements? So elements are nothing but the collection of, I can say, tags plus content, right? Tags and content. It was the what it was element, right? Then it comes your key, what are tags, right? Tags में हमारे पास दो चीजें होती हैं. The first one is opening tag and the second one is closing tag, right? So we have a opening tag, we have a closing tag, and in between them we have a content, or I can say a word or sentence or like anything that we want to write, that is my content. Okay, so when it comes to HTML, so HTML is a collection of elements, and elements the collection of tag and content. A tag has two things, one is opening tag and one is closing tag, and then there lies the content in between of them. Okay, now that's okay, fine. Now we have something called self-closing tags, right? So what are self-closing tags? So self-closing tags are those tags जो कि हमारे पास they don't have any closing tag with them, right? So basically it closes in itself, right? Self-closing tag, they just close in itself, and we don't have any specific closing tag for them, such as the BR tag, images tag, HR tag, and all those things, right? Also, yesterday we have studied some tags such as H1 tag, right? H2 tag, basically heading tags, paragraph tags, right? Then we studied link tag also, that is anchor tag, right? Then we studied UL tag, OL tag, right? All these tags we have already studied, right? Right? Just a second. Okay, yeah. All these tags we have already studied, right? So how many, okay guys, just answer me, how many head tags we have, how many heading tags we have, sorry, not head tag, how many heading tags do we have, how many heading tags do we have, Janta? How many heading tags do we have? Please answer me. Six. Okay, six. Perfect. Yes. So we have six heading tags, right? And what will happen? What will happen if I try to write H7? We did it. We did it yesterday. We tried to write H7, and what happened? What will happen if I try to write H7? What will happen? What will happen then? Yes. Perfect. Six. No MD status, not 10, it's six. What will happen if I try to write error? No, not error. It's a normal text. Yeah, it's a normal text, right? Default text. Yes, you can say it's a default text, right? Perfect. So yes, I guess kal tak ka sabko clear hai. Okay, and now what is the difference between OL and UL? What is the difference between OL and UL? Janta, fatafat, in the chat. What is the difference between OL and UL? What is the difference between OL and UL? Ordered and unordered, that is fine. Dot and numbers, yeah, you can say it like that, dot and numbers for the short notification. So what will happen? OL means ordered list, right, where we have certain orders. The order can be ABC 123, 123 in Roman numbers, 123 natural numbers, ABC in small, ABC in capital, like anything, right? It can be like anything. Okay, so that is a ordered list. And when it comes to unordered list, so in unordered list we don't have any orders, it's just bullet points that we put in there, right? Now there is one tag which we always use inside OL or UL. What is that tag? What is the tag which we always use inside OL and UL? What is that tag? What is that tag? What is that tag which we use in OL and UL? LI tag. Perfect, perfect, perfect. List item. Perfect, 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 perfect. So yes, with this, I guess things are clear, right? Yesterday's session is clear, right? Shall we start with CSS? Shall we start with CSS today? Let me share my screen. Janta, shall we start with CSS? Yes, yes, yes. Yep. Okay. Let's upgrade. Can you please place me not the bottom right, bottom left पे कर दो, मतलब bottom left. Sorry, bottom right पे place कर दो मेरे को, because left पे वो content छुप जाता है बच्चों के लिए, so it's a problem. Just place me in bottom right corner, please, if you can. Okay, chalo ji. Let's start with the CSS part. Okay, so yep. So that this is what we have built yesterday. We'll continue with this only, right? This is what we have built yesterday. Okay, and we will continue with this only. Oh, okay, yeah. Teach div and div. Okay, okay, yeah. I will teach div. Div is left. Yes, div is important. Div is important. Perfect. I'll go with div first. Okay. So additional to these tags, okay, guys. Additional to these tags, we have one thing called div tag, right? There is something called div tag. Okay. So let us first understand what is div tag. Okay. So we have div tag. Anybody? What is div tag? What is div tag? So there are some more tags like div tags, or I can say SEC section tag, right? Section tag or div tag, right? So what are these? Containers, right? Exactly. So div is nothing but the containers tag, right? Div is nothing but the container tag. So I can say that what is div? Div is my container, right? It act as a container tag, right? And what do I mean by container tag? So see, in your website, okay, in your web page, what happens in your web page? You have different sections, right? These sections can be your head section, can be your nav section, can be your main section, can be your footer section, right? Can be anything, right? So we have these two tags. One is div tag and the other one is section tag, right? So what these tags do, basically the major use case, okay, the major use case for div tag and section tag is just to create the different sections. Okay, it divides our website into different sections. Okay, so what it does, it's simply to remember it in very simpler terms, section tag and div tag, they just use to divide your web page into different sections, right? That is the main work. Okay, that is the main work of it, right? Now we can use it. Okay, so it's a container tag which contains other tags and binds them in a group, or I can say or section. Okay, so this is what a div tag is, right? And same as section tag, right? Same as section tag, same as div tag, but these have their own semantic meanings, right? So these have their own semantic meanings. Now what is the difference then? Okay, I said that div tag and section tag, they both are like same kind of a thing, right? Its functionality is same basically. So what does they do? They just divide the website into different sections, right? But now how are they different? How are they different? So it is different because see, div tag is something which is always div only, right? If we use div tag, we always have to write something like this is div, this is div tag, right? This is div tag. And when it comes to your section tag, right, we use this section tag, right? Then we can use this footer tag also, then we can use this header tag also, right? We can use sorry, my bad, yeah, header tag, right? So see, if we want to add some footer section, right, we can use this footer tag. It has its own meaning, right? It has its own meaning. If we want to use header tag, then we can use this kind of a header section, right? If we want to use main section, if we want to make main section, we can go with this main tag. So in Sabka, they have their own meaning, right? This main section has a meaning, this header section has a meaning, this footer section has a meaning, or any other common section we can put it into this section tag also, right? But when it comes to div, so it's only div tag. Div is only div, right? So div is simply just to group the things, just to divide our web page into different section, whereas in our section tag it can has their own semantic meaning. Okay, I guess itna clear hoga yahan pe, right? Use of main tag, so basically use of main tag is to wrap the main content. Jitna bhi hamara main content hota hai, we can wrap that content into this main tag. Okay, that is the main use case of this main tag. Okay, now let's start with the CSS part. Okay, let's now start with the CSS part. Key CSS pe what we do. Okay, guys, leave article tag. That is not that much important. Okay, so yeah. Okay, yeah. So now comes to CSS. Okay, CSS. So what is CSS? What is CSS? Why we use CSS? So as we have already discussed this thing yesterday, that see, now we have made a web page, right? We have already made a web page, as you can see over here. But we have a problem. This web page is not at all looking good, right? There is no styling. There is no styling, right? So if we have to give the styling to our web page, right, we have to use the CSS, right? We have to use the CSS. Now why CSS is used? To give styling, right? To give styling to our HTML elements, right? Now, right now there are three types of CSS. Okay, there are three types of CSS. Inline CSS, right? Okay, we have an inline CSS, then we have internal CSS, right? And then we have external CSS, right? Then we have external CSS. We have three different types of CSS. One is inline CSS, one is internal CSS, and one is external CSS, right? Now, what does inline CSS means? Inline CSS क्या मतलब है? What does inline CSS means? What does inline CSS means? So basically, when we combine, right, when we combine CSS with HTML elements, such as let me give you a example over here, right? So यहाँ पे मैं style लिख देता हूँ. We will add this style attribute, right? We will add this style attribute. Now what is attribute, right? Let's first understand that as well. Okay, what is attribute? Style here is an attribute. Now what is attribute? What is attribute? So it is just an extra information about the tag. Okay, it is just an extra information about the tag. So what we are doing, whenever I am writing this style attribute in my HTML tag, okay, now where you add your attribute, you always add attribute in opening tag, right? So ये सारी चीजें जो भी होंगी ये हम हमेशा we add in my opening tag. So in my opening tag I have added a attribute called style attribute, and whatever styling I will give inside the style attribute, right, this is known as the inline css. Why inline css? Because we are giving the styling inside the HTML tag, right? So all HTML and CSS, we both are combining that in one line, right? We are writing HTML and CSS in one line. So that's why this type of CSS is known as my inline CSS. Okay, now comes the internal CSS, right? Now comes your internal CSS. So how you write your internal CSS? So in your head tag, right? So in your head tag, so here internal CSS. So in your head tag, just give me a second. In your head tag, you can write CSS code by applying style tag. Okay, zoom the screen. Already zoomed है bro, इससे ज्यादा zoom तो मैं क्या ही करूं. Okay, yeah, I guess इतना काफी है, इतना zoom काफी है. I guess now you can see. Okay, so when you write a right, when you write style tag, okay, so this is my style tag, and inside this style tag when I write my CSS, right, inside this style tag when I write my CSS, right, so this is known as my internal CSS. Now why this is internal CSS? Because inside my HTML file, right, what I am doing, I am writing CSS inside my HTML file, right? So since I am writing HTML and CSS in one file, that is known as internal CSS. Understand this thing very carefully, right? If I am writing my HTML and CSS in one line, so that is my inline CSS, right? Let me define it over here. When we combine it, yeah. So if I am writing HTML and CSS in one line, right? So if I am writing HTML and CSS in one line, so that is known as my inline CSS, right? And if I am writing HTML and CSS in one file. If I'm writing HTML and CSS in one file, so that is known as internal CSS. Okay, that is known as internal CSS. Now, what is external CSS? नाम से पता लग रहा है. We get it from name. If HTML file and CSS file are different, right? So when we have different HTML file and different CSS file, so that is known as my external CSS. Okay, now how we'll write in external CSS? So we will create a new file. Style.css, and what we will do, we will link that file over here. So we have to apply the link tag. And we have to link that file by this thing. ठीक है जी. In your link tag, what you will do, you will give the relevance, right? This rel stands for relevance, right? This rel over here stands for relevance, कि whatever I am linking उसका relevance क्या है, how that is relevant to my website. So now here I am saying that okay, this is a style sheet, right? The thing that I am writing over here is a style sheet. So this is how this link is relevant to my HTML page, right? And inside this href, what I need to do inside this href, I just need to give the path. Okay, I just need to give the path of my style sheet. So since this style is in same folder, right, so I'm writing it like this. If they were in different folder, so I need to specify the complete path over here, right? हाँ मतलब रिलेशन कह लो या रेलेवेंस कह लो, वन एंड द सेम थिंग, राइट? रिलेशन रेलेवेंस वन एंड द सेम थिंग ना. सो या ओके जी, यहां तक क्लियर है. How you will embed external CSS file, how you will embed internal CSS file, how you will embed inline CSS, right? इतना क्लियर हो गया सबको? how to link external, internal and inline CSS. Done है यहाँ तक? Anybody any doubt? Janta, anybody any doubt so far? Guys, anybody any doubt so far? No. Okay. Can you give any idea about section tag? So as I told you, see, I already told you now. So section tag is nothing but to divide your divide it in different sections. It's a wrapper. Okay, it's a wrapper. That's it. That's it. Okay, it's a wrapper. Okay, done. So let's continue. Right. Let's continue. Right. So let's now do the styling. Okay. So we will do external styling. Okay. What we will do? We will do external styling. Why external styling? Because external styling is preferable. Okay. External styling is preferable. We always avoid, right? We always avoid internal or inline styling. Why we avoid internal or inline styling? Because see, it's the, your code will become messy, right? If you're writing HTML and CSS in a single file, right, in a single line, it will become way more messy. The code will become messy, right? So that's why external CSS is always preferable, right? So I am going to write external CSS over here. Okay, I am going to write external CSS over here. So I have already linked the style sheet, right? I have already linked the style sheet over here. And now what I will do, I have to style these elements. Now try to understand this thing very carefully, right? Our style sheet. Now suppose if I want to style my, if I want to style my this tag, if I want to style my h1 tag, okay? Now how I will style? If I want to style my h1 tag, how I can style that? Let us first understand this thing, right? So I will write h1 and then I will give color and then I will say red. Okay, if I'm doing it like this, right? Let's see. Can you see? Can you see the color of my color of this tag is now red, right? Iska color red ho gaya hai, right? So how I did this, right? So in my style, in style, we have we have a, I can say, selector. Okay, we have a selector selector and a I can say key value pair, and a key value pair, right? So what is this? What is this? So this h1 tag, right? This h1 over here, this is known as the selector. This is known as the selector, right? It signifies ki which element I need to style, right? Which element I need to style. Now, what is selector? Let me define selector over here. Selector is a I can say element, or maybe selector is a word, right, which defines the element that we want to style. Okay, that is what a selector is, right? Selector kya hota hai? Selector is nothing but it's a word that defines ki what element we want to style, right? We want to style what element. So that is my selector. Okay, okay, done hai? Right? And then comes the key value pair, right? So let us understand what is key value pair. So key value pair is a property and a value separated by a colon, right? So this is my property and this is my value. So now suppose मेरे को कलर रेड करना है, राइट? अब मेरे को क्या करना है? बैकग्राउंड कलर, इसका बैकग्राउंड कलर अगर मेरे को ब्लैक करना है, राइट? सो आई विल से समथिंग लाइक दिस. See, now its background color is black, right? Now its background color is black, right? So this, the left hand side of your column is the property and the right hand side of your column is the value, right? Left hand side is the property, the right hand side is the value, and this is what a key value pair is, right? Right? Okay, how to link CSS file. So basically I told you na, in your head tag, right? In your head tag, you have to use this link tag and you have to give the path. Okay, you have to use this link tag, and in your href you have to give the path of your style sheet, and this is how you link the style sheet with your HTML. Okay, so now when it comes to style, right, how you write the style. So first of all, you will tell the selector, right? You will tell the selector that okay, which selector you are going to use. Okay, then you will tell the property and its value, that what property you want to use. So if you want to change color, you will use color over here. If you want to change background color, you will use background color over here. If you want to change height, you will use height over here. If you want to change width, you will use width over here. If you want to change font size, you will use font size over here, right? Suppose मेरे को font size change करना है. I want to change font size to say 10 pixels, right? See, now it is smaller. Now it is smaller, as you can see, right? अगर मैं इसी को कर दूं 100 pixels, right? 100 pixels. Now it is bigger, right? Now it is bigger, right? So this is how you can change the CSS part. Okay, this is how you can change the CSS part. Done hai? Itna clear? It is clear? I'll come to that, Anvesha. I'll come to that class selector and ID selector, not today, but tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I'll come to that selectors part, मतलब ID and class का, right? So वो हम कल पे आएंगे. अभी थोड़ा basic CSS समझ लेते हैं, थोड़ा basic CSS कर लेते हैं, and then we will come to that ID selector, class selector, pseudo selector, and all those things. ठीक है? How style.css works in terms of color change to of the name. See, array, I have targeted now. Okay, let me open this in the right side. Okay, let me open this in the open right. Yeah, open right. Okay, yeah. See, now this is my style, right? And this is my h1 tag. So what I have done, see, can you see? Can you see this h1? Can you see this h1? So what I have said, I have targeted this h1 over here. मैंने यहाँ पे CSS को बोला, I said this CSS, okay, what you have to do, you have to target this h1 tag from this HTML, right? You have to target this h1 tag from this HTML, and इस h1 tag का color red कर दो and background color black कर दो, right? So it has done the same thing, right? It has done the same thing. It has targeted the h1 tag. It has targeted the h1 tag, and its color is red and its background color is black. Its background color is black, right? Now suppose if I have more h1 tag. Now suppose if I have more h1 tag, say I have one h1 tag over here. I have one h1 tag over here, blah blah blah. Okay, so I have added one more h1 tag in my HTML file, right? So here I have added one more h1 tag in my HTML file. Now what will happen? Now what will happen? Will it target this? Will it target this also? Say yes or no, Janta. Will it target this also? No idea. Will it target this, Janta? Yes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, exactly. Definitely it will target. Right, definitely it will target. Why? Because we are saying that okay, what you have to do, you have to target all the h1 tag, right? In this CSS file, in this HTML file, जितने भी h1 है उन सबको टारगेट कर लो और उनका color or background color change कर दो, right? So yes, see, it has targeted this h1 tag also. So now you can write more h1 tag and it will target all the h1 tags, right? Now suppose we have a problem. Now over here we have a problem. The problem is that what if I want to target only one h1 tag, right? Or maybe I can say I have 10 h1 tag in my file, right? And I just have to target 3 h1 tags. I don't have to target all the h1 tags. How we can do that? So for that we have a concept of classes and IDs, right? That we will study tomorrow. That will not study tomorrow, right? But I have told you a problem, right? We'll see the solution tomorrow, right? Not today. Yeah, notes I guess मिल जाएंगे notes का. I'm not sure. We have to ask it. Okay, so now see Now, since we have studied section and div tags, so what I am doing, I am dividing my website into different sections. Okay, say I have a section tag, right? And I am dividing this section into like this, or maybe this is my header. Okay, so this is my header. This is my header, right? So this is my header. Okay, this is my header. And what is this? This is say this is my section. Okay, this is my section. So मैंने ये पैराग्राफ जो है, ये पैराग्राफ I am writing into this section. Okay, this is my section. I need to remove this. Now say this what is this? So this is say this is my main. Suppose this is my main, right? So this is my main, right? This is my main. And what is this? Say this is my again main. Okay, so this is also main. M A I N, main. This is also main, right? This is also main, right? Now we have important links. I am writing this is also main. Okay, this is also main, right? So I'm just doing nothing. I'm just dividing my pages into sections. Okay, and this is my footer section. So this is my footer section, and I am putting it inside this. Okay, so I'm putting it inside this. Control Z. Okay, now let me format it. Format document. Yes. So now see, we have different sections. One is header section, then we have a section, then we have a main section, then we have a main section, then we have a main section, then we have a footer section, right? So now we have these sections. Okay, मेन तो एक ही होता है, बट या मेन एक ही होता है, बट आई हैव डिवाइडेड लाइक सी सिंस आई हैव नॉट टॉट यू, जरूरी नहीं है एक ही हो. जनरली हम एक यूज करते हैं, राइट? जनरली वी यूज ओनली वन मेन. इट्स नॉट हार्ड एंड फास्ट कि हमें एक ही यूज करना पड़ेगा. नो, वी कैन यूज मैनी, बट वी डोंट यूज, राइट? वी यूज ओनली वन. Okay, we can use many. Okay, but ideally we should not. So since I have not told you the concept of classes and IDs, so I am using multiple main over here. Okay, if once I'll tell you the concept of classes and IDs, will not use this. Okay, we'll go with classes and IDs. Yes, I will give you activity, don't worry. I'll give you activity to practice. Okay, Payal, I'll give you activity to practice. Okay, don't worry. Okay, guys. So now let us start styling. Okay, let us start styling this. So, okay, I'm going to style this. Open, right? So now see what we have. We have a header section. So let us style the header section, right? So I'll target my header section. Okay, and what I will do, I'll target my header section and I will apply the border. So border, say 2 pixels solid and red. So can you see a 2 pixel solid red? Sorry, a 23 pixel ho gaya, 2 pixel solid red. So can you see a border in your header section? Can you see a border in your header section? Can you see a border? Right. Now what I will do, I will say the height. Okay, the height of this section should be 500 pixels. So see, now the height of this section is 500 pixels, right? That is done, right? The height of this section is 500 pixels. Okay, perfect hai ji. Now what I want margin, right? मेरे को क्या करना है, margin चाहिए. So I will say margin to auto. Now what is margin? Should I use auto? No, let's not use it. Okay, I'll go with some other thing. Okay, yep. So यहाँ पे मेरा ये इस टाइप से कुछ आया, right? Okay जी, perfect है. So now what I will do, I will come to this tag. Now I will come to this h1 tag. Okay, now I will target my h1 tag, and see, अब मुझे इस h1 tag को ना थोड़ा सा सेंटर में लेके आना है. I want to place this h1 tag into the center. So उसके लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, margin left side से I want to give some margin. So say I am giving margin of say 300 pixels. So I am giving margin of 300 pixels from the left side. Okay, so can you see it has transferred from left, right? It has transferred from left, right? Okay, I'll come to that. Margin padding पे भी आएंगे, don't worry, right? So यहाँ से left पे आ गया है, ठीक है? Okay जी. So now what is margin now? Let us understand what is margin. Now what is margin? Let us understand that. So a margin is the gap between two elements, right? Margin is the gap between two different elements. Now see, we have one element. This is h1 element, right? ये h1 element है और इसके बाहर क्या है? इसके बाहर we had this header element, right? So ये these are two different element. Okay, these are two different element, and what I am doing is basically मैं इन दोनों elements के बीच में थोड़ा सा space लेकर के आ रहा हूं. So that is why I have used this margin, right? So what is margin? Margin is the gap between two different element, or I can say the outer space, right? The outer space is known as the margin. ठीक है जी, इतना डन है. अगर मैं इसको इंक्रीज करता हूं, इंस्टेड ऑफ 300 इफ आई डू 600, सो यस, अब ये मेरे को सेंटर में लग रहा है. Now I feel like that is in the center. Okay, so similar I will do with this h4. Okay, similar I will do with this h4, and I will give margin left 600 pixels, which looks fine to me. थोड़ा सा कम लग रहा है तो 650 कर देते हैं, ज्यादा हो गया है तो 620 कर देते हैं, और ज्यादा हो गया है 610 रखते हैं. No, I guess this is fine, right? ठीक है, तो ये इस टाइप से मेरे को थोड़ा सेंटर में लग रहा है. यहां तक एनीबॉडी, एनी डाउट? I know margin is not used to do center, but you have to always learn step by step. Now you always have to learn step by step. Now I might know कि margin is not used to give center ना buddy. Okay, yeah, okay, ये ठीक है. यहां तक किसी को कोई डाउट? सर सेम थिंग कैन वी डू विद h1 for margin? Yes, you can do that, right? But now we have a problem. Now see guys, we have a problem in this. Now tell me how you will ensure that this is the exact center. हम ये कैसे ensure करेंगे कि this is your exact center point? Can you 100% say that this is exactly center point? Can you 100% say this? Inspect? No, not from inspect. No, nahi. Can you 100% say that this is exactly in center? No, we cannot say. By using margin left, margin right, we can never say that this is exactly in the center. Then how we can say that? How we can, so that, okay, let's not go how we can do that. Basically that is a problem, right? So we have a problem. So if I am aligning my element center by using this margin left, margin right, we can never say that it is exactly in the center. So this is a problem. Okay, this is a problem, right? Now how we can find a solution? Okay, so what we can do, I can write something like this: text align center, right? I can write something like this: text align center. So what it will do? What is text align center, right? What is text align center then? What is text align center? So basically this text align center is aligning my text perfectly in the center, right? Is aligning right, is aligning my text perfectly in the center, right? Perfectly in the center. Same I will do for this thing. Same I will do for this thing, right? So yes, now these two texts are perfectly in center. I can say that. I can definitely say that. Why? Because this property I am using, and it is automatically doing the text into the center part. Is that done? Is that done? डन है? डन डन डन। यहां तक कोई प्रॉब्लम? एनीबॉडी एनी डाउट सो फार? Yes, perfect. Now suppose I want to do it center from the top as well, right? We have aligned it center from on the horizontal basis, right? Now I want them to on the center from my vertical part as well. मुझे इसको vertical से भी center लेके आना है, right? So उसके लिए क्या करेंगे? Now what we'll do? Now what we will do to align it center from the vertical part as well. सो अभी के लिए हम लोग मार्जिन यूज कर रहे हैं. मार्जिन टॉप आई कैन से 200 पिक्सल्स, राइट? अभी के लिए for now again this is a wrong way, right? This is a wrong way, but for now we are using something like this, okay? And what I will give to my header, I will give background color as a say black, okay? And यहाँ पे मैं कलर कर दूंगा क्या? व्हाइट. एंड यहां पे मैं अपना कलर कर दूंगा क्या? येलो. ओके, येलो. लेट्स सी. ओके, सो अभी के लिए इट इज लुकिंग समथिंग लाइक दिस. ठीक है, अभी ऐसा लग रहा है कुछ. ओके ओके, इतना हुआ. नाउ आई नीड टू स्टाइल मोर एलिमेंट्स, राइट? मेरे को नीचे वाले एलिमेंट्स को स्टाइल करना है. लेट अस स्टाइल देम. Let us style them. Let us style this section tag, right? Let us style this section tag. So what I will do, I'll target this section tag and border 2 pixels solid green, okay? 2 pixels solid green, okay? Yep, yes. So I can see the green color. Now I need to width. I need to increase the width. Sorry, not width. I need to increase the height. Okay, so height I will say 200 pixels, right? Height I'll say 200 pixels. That is fine. Height is 200 pixels. Now what I will do? I'll simply say background color is light blue. No, not light blue. Maybe I can say background color black only. ठीक है, इसको black रखते हैं. Maybe black color background, right? And now inside the section tag I have this paragraph, so I will style this paragraph and I will say text line center and color white. Okay जी, ये भी center में आ गया. This is also in center. Okay, orange color कर देता हूं मैं इसको ना, orange कर देता हूं. Orange. ठीक है जी, ये orange color आ गया. Okay, done. बढ़िया लग रहा है. And again margin top say 100 pixels. Okay, and yes, it also seems to be in right, it also seems to be in center, है ना? अब मैं क्या करता हूं, let me get rid of this border, let me get rid of this border as well. ठीक है जी. ये अरे इसको क्या हो गया? What happened? ठीक है. अच्छा ठीक है, अभी के लिए इसको मैं ब्लैक ही कर देता हूं. Will see it later. Black. ओके जी, यहां तक कोई डाउट? एनीबॉडी एनी डाउट सो फार? Guys, anybody any doubt so far? Okay, now let us style more elements. ठीक है, now let us style this main section. Now देखना what will happen. Now see what will happen. I'll style this main section and I will say border 2 pixels solid green, and see it has targeted all the main sections, right? It has targeted all the main sections. जितने भी मेरे पास main sections थे, it has targeted all my main section, right? Okay जी, perfect. So now what I will do, again I will say height to be say 200 pixels. So yes, ये मेरी 200 pixels की height हो गई है, which is perfect. कोई problem नहीं है, done है. And now I will do something. In my main section, I have a h3 tag, right? So in my main section, I have a h3 tag. So let us target my h3 tag. I will apply border 2 pixels solid red. Okay, G. Yes. So see, in all the h3 tags, it has applied the border, right? Yes, class ID I will explain not today but tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I will go with class and ID and all those things. Okay जी, ये आ गया center में. Now what I will do, text align to the center, and see, all the text is in center. Okay जी, थोड़ा सा font size बढ़ाएंगे. Font size से यम 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 20 पिक्सल्स छोटा हो जाएगा, 50 पिक्सल्स. ओके, ज्यादा बड़ा हो गया क्या? ज्यादा बड़ा हो गया, 30 पिक्सल्स. Yep. Okay. And now color, I'll give aqua, and यहाँ पे I will give background color to black. Okay. Yes. ठीक है जी, इतना सही लग रहा है अभी के लिए. For now. कोड ओके, I'll share the code as well. ठीक है, मैं कोड शेयर कर दूंगा, डोंट वरी. गाइस ये चैट में तुम्हारा क्या चल रहा है? ओके, मनी एंड दिव्यांश भाई क्या चल रहा है तुम्हारा चैट में? अलग ही कुछ चल रहा है. ओके, डन. Right, so now I have styled that part, okay, which looks fine. Now inside my, let me comment uncomment this so that मेरे को यहाँ पे ना ये दिख जाए. Okay, now inside my main section I have a UL. Okay, so मैं क्या करता हूँ, I need to style my UL now. So first of all I'll apply border 2 pixels solid green. Now Janta, why I am applying border? अरे पूछ रहे हो ठीक है, बट ध्यान दे ले भाई इधर. Right, okay. Now guys tell me, now why I am applying border? You see, I have applied border here, I have applied border here, I have applied border here. Why I am always applying the border first before styling? Why I am always applying my border first? Anybody for giving play a border to element? No, that is fine, but why? मतलब क्यों, उससे हो क्या रहा है? What is happening? Yes, I am applying border to give them border, but उससे हो क्या रहा है? No, it will no, not to look good. No, not to look good. Checking. Yes, what checking? Yes, you are right, I am checking something. But what I am checking? See, okay, so we have certain debuggers, right? So now what happens when I am applying border, right? When I am applying border, I am checking multiple things. Such as see, so when I have applied border over here, right? This red color border, right? Can you see this red color border? So when I have applied this red color border, what things I am checking? What all things I am checking over here? First of all, I am checking that where my element is starting from, मेरा element कहाँ से start हो रहा है, and where my element is ending. Okay, so where my element is starting and where my element is ending, I am getting this thing. Okay, secondly, I can see what is the margin, right? How much margin it has from the other elements. कितना margin से separated है ये from other elements, right? I am checking this thing as well. Third thing which I am checking is basically कि height width kitni hai, right? How much area it is spanning, right? So when I am applying border, right? I am checking these three things. First of all, does it have any margin, right? Does it have any margin, right? From where my element is starting and from where my element is ending. And the third one is कि मेरा कितना height and width is there. Okay, how much height and width is there, right? Okay, so that's why I am always applying the borders first. Any problem? Any problem? And I would recommend everyone to apply borders. Okay, I would recommend everyone to apply borders before starting with your CSS part, so that you come to know from where your element is starting and from where your element is ending. ठीक है जी, that is preferable. That is preferable. Okay, so now I have this UL. Now I have this UL, and inside this UL I have styled it. Okay, now let me style this li tag. Let me style this li tag. So I will say color of this li tag should be green. Color of this li tag should be green. So ठीक है जी, now it is green, and now I can uncomment this part, main section से black. Okay जी, yes, that looks okay, fine सा लग रहा है. Now what I will do, li में again text align center. So ये देखिए जी, ये मेरा text जो है, now it is perfectly in the center, which is fine. I can uncomment this, I can comment this, and let's now see it. Okay जी, सही लग रहा है ये? Does it looks okay? Not that good, not that bad, okay से लग रहा है, as per the basic styling, as per the basic styling. Okay, now let us style this also. अपन इसको भी स्टाइल कर लेते हैं अभी. ठीक है जी, let us now style this part as well. Okay, चलो फटाफट से. So what are these? These are my anchor tags. Okay, so these are my anchor tags. So anchor tag को मैं target कर लूंगा. इनका color I will do white. इनका color I will do white and text align center. So now see, when I am doing color white, I am still getting this underline. Can you see? I am getting this underline over here. I am getting this underline here. हाँ, bullet points का क्या होगा? मैं हटा रहा हूँ. अभी मैं bullet points में हटा देता हूँ. ठीक है? Let me apply the हटाएंगे the bullet point. Okay. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? सर OL के नंबर्स अलाइन होंगे सेंटर में. हाँ, वो भी होंगे, बट फॉर दैट विल स्टडी समथिंग. विल स्टडी डिस्प्ले फ्लेक्स अभी. ठीक है, अभी विल स्टडी डिस्प्ले फ्लेक्स, देन वो सब हो जाएगा. ठीक है, ओके. यप. सो now see, we have this underlined text over here, right? We have this underlined text over here, that is YouTube, GitHub and LinkedIn के नीचे we have this space, we have this underline, right? So how we can remove this? How we can remove this? So we have one property called text decoration, right? We have one property called text decoration. We will set it to none. So whenever you are doing text decoration none, right? So see, now see that underline is gone. Now can you see that underline is gone? Now that underline is gone. Okay, which is perfect. Now see, we have a problem. Now we encountered a problem that I have done text align center. Can you see this? I have done this text align center, but my text is not in center yet. My text is still at the side. My text is still at the side. Why? My first problem statement is why it happened. Because as you can see, I have applied text align center over here and my text is in center, right? I have aligned text align center over here and my text is in center. Also, I have aligned text align center over here, and this paragraph also is in center, right? But why it didn't work on this links? Why it didn't work on these links? Any idea? Any idea, guys? Why these links are not getting in center? Yeah, underline is by default. Yes, Manisha, underline is by default. Whenever you use link tag, na, by default its color is blue and by default it is underline. Exactly, Moshin. So the answer is that this is a inline element. Okay, this is a inline element. So now when it comes to elements, right? When it comes to elements, there are two types of elements. Okay, there are two types of elements. The first one is your inline elements and the second one is your block elements, right? So let us understand this thing first now. Let us first understand what is inline elements and what are block elements. Okay, let us understand this. So inline elements. Okay, and so what are inline elements? See, and what are block elements? So see, inline elements क्या होते हैं? Inline elements, first of all, let us understand block elements, right? So block elements are those elements जो कि they takes the space of one complete line, right? They takes the space of, they takes the space of one complete line, right? They don't share space, they don't share space with any other element, right? They don't share space with any other element. Okay, and so these are my block elements. So block elements क्या होते हैं? They takes the space of one complete line, right? Suppose ये मेरा एक लिस्ट है, राइट? ये मेरा एक लिस्ट है. अगर मैंने इस लिस्ट को यहाँ पे लिखा है, राइट? इफ आई एम टेकिंग li element, okay, so it will block the complete row, it will block the complete line. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे प्रोजेक्ट्स लिखा है, so it is blocking the complete line. See, let me apply the border. मैं यहाँ पे border apply करता हूँ and then you will see. Let me apply the border again. Now see, can you see this border, red color border? Can you see this red color border? It is taking the entire line, isn't it? ये पूरी लाइन ले रहा है. Yes or no? Yes or no? क्या ये बॉर्डर मेरा पूरा लाइन पे है? स्क्रीन की पूरी विड्थ कवर कर रहा है? क्या ये बॉर्डर मेरा पूरी विड्थ कवर कर रहा है? Yes. Yes, it is covering the entire width, right? Means it is occupying the entire width of my screen, right? So यहाँ पे मैं एक और चीज लिख देता हूं, that it will occupy the entire width of my screen, right? It will occupy the entire width of my screen, right? And it will never share the space, it will never share the space. अब देखो, now see, whereas when it comes to the inline element, right? When it comes to the inline element, okay, so they share the space with other elements, right? And they don't take the entire width of the screen. Okay, they share the space with other elements and they don't take the width of entire screen. ठीक है जी? ठीक है जी? डन है? नाउ सी, यहां पे दिख भी रहा है. Now see what I have done. जब मैंने ये 3 anchor tag लिखे, when I have written these 3 anchor tags, right? They have shared the space. Can you see? ये तीनों anchor tag एक लाइन में आए हैं, right? Right? These 3 anchor tags in one line means they are sharing the space. They are sharing the space, right? When I have written these 3 anchor tags, they are in a same line, right? They are in a same line, right? Means they are sharing their spaces. But जब मैंने एक h3 लिखा और मैंने h3 के साथ ये 3 एंकर टैग लिखे, राइट? सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, ये h3 के साथ क्या मेरा h3 और एंकर टैग एक लाइन में आया? Are these anchor tags and my h3 tag, are they sharing the space? क्या ये space share कर रहे हैं? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are they sharing the space? Is this h3 tag sharing the space with this h anchor? Yes or no? क्या ऐसा हो रहा है? नहीं हो रहा है. नहीं हो रहा है. See, this h3 is in a different line. No, it is not happening. See ना, this h3 is in different line, right? ये h3 दूसरी लाइन में है और ये एंकर टैग इसके नीचे आ रहे हैं. ये एंकर टैग इसके नीचे आ रहे हैं. सी, एंकर टैग, दिस एंकर टैग, ओके, this anchor tag, these anchor tags are sharing the space, right? These anchor tags are sharing the space, but this h3 tag which is present over here, it is not sharing the space with these anchor tags, right? So what I can say from here, क्योंकि this h3 is not sharing the space, so this h3 is known as my block element, right? This h3 is a block element and this anchor is my inline elements. यहां तक क्लियर है? यहां तक क्लियर है? Say yes or no? Say yes or no? Is it clear, जनता? Yes or no? Yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now what happens? See, up now try to understand this concept very carefully. Okay, now try to understand this concept very carefully. अब जो मैं बताने वाला हूँ. See, now since this H3 is a block element, okay, since this H3 is a, okay, I will repeat. Nitin, I will repeat it once again. Okay, I will repeat it once again. Let me complete. Let me complete. We'll repeat it once again. Okay. Now, since this h3 tag is a block element, since this h3 tag is a block element and it is occupying the complete width, right? It is occupying the complete width. So now try to understand this thing very carefully. जब इसके पास पूरी width है, when it has the complete width, right? So I can make him align in the left, I can make him align in the center, I can make him align in the right also. मैं इसको लेफ्ट में भी रख सकता हूँ, सेंटर में भी रख सकता हूँ, राइट में भी रख सकता हूँ. Why? Because it has the complete space, right? Now try to understand this thing like this. Please suppose you have a plot, okay? You have a plot, right? The plot is registered in your name, okay? And you want to use it as a parking, right? So since you have the entire plot in your name, so you can you can park your car in the front, you can park your car at the back, you can park the car in the middle, right? You can park your car anywhere. Why? Because you have occupied the entire space, right? That's why you can park your car anywhere, right? And since this h3 tag, right, this h3 tag is a block element and these block elements are occupying the entire space, these block elements are occupying the entire width, right? So I can place this text anywhere. I can place this text in the starting, I can place this text in the middle, I can place this text in the right. So that's why this property which is text align center, okay, so that's why this text align center property work with the block elements, right? That's why it work with the block elements and not with my inline elements. Now why not with inline elements? Because this inline element, it is not occupying the entire space. Now it is not occupying the entire space, right? It is not occupying the entire space, it is just occupying the space which is जितना ये text है, it is occupying the space जितना this text, right? जितना ये text है उतना ही space कर रहा है. तो मैं इसको कहीं और align कर ही नहीं सकता because I don't have space in left, I don't have space in right? इसका इतना ही space है बस, जितने में YouTube लिखा हुआ है, राइट? जितने में YouTube लिखा हुआ है इसका इतना ही स्पेस है. सो हाउ कैन आई अलाइन इट? हाउ कैन आई अलाइन इट? I don't have space to align, right? In your block element you have the entire width to align. In your block element you have the entire width to align, so you have option to align your elements in the left, to align your elements in center, to align your elements in right. But when it comes to your inline element you don't have an option, right? That's why when I put this text align center with this anchor tag, it did not do any effect. Okay, okay, done. Thank you so much, Sumit. Thank you so much, Sumit. I guess concept clear हुआ होगा, right? Concept clear हुआ? Concept clear हुआ? Yes, done. यस यस यस, हाँ मिल जाएगा दिव्यांश, यू विल गेट द गाइडेंस इन क्लास के एंड में, ओके। हाँ ओके देन गाइस, चलो लेट्स डू इट नाउ अगेन, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज स्टिल देयर, राइट। तो कंसेप्ट तो समझ में आ गया, राइट, कंसेप्ट तो समझ में आ गया। नाउ वी नो द कंसेप्ट, राइट, नाउ वी नो द कंसेप्ट, right, now we know the concept, but the problem still arises, the problem is still there ना, problem तो अभी भी है वहां पे, problem तो अभी भी है। The problem is now how we will align these anchor tags in the center. Now how we will align, yes exactly, we have a problem ना, yes yes Mr. Aggressive, yes right, the problem is still there. So for that we have something called display flex, हमारे पास कुछ चीज होती है which is known as display flex, okay, yeah I'll show you the HTML, don't worry, this is my HTML, okay, have a look, this is my HTML. So we have something called display flex, okay, so with the help of display flex I can align any element, guys make sure flex is the brahmastra, okay, flex is the brahmastra of your HTML CSS, ठीक है, जहां पे nothing will work, right, जहां पे nothing is working, your flex will definitely work there. You need to get very 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 much used to of using flex, ठीक है, जहां पे nothing will work, flex will work there, okay, display flex will always work there जहां पे तुम्हारा कुछ काम नहीं करेगा, right. So now how, what is flex, how it works, okay, so now see, now try to understand this thing very carefully, ठीक है, I'm starting with the flex, okay, I'm starting with display flex part, right, and that is important, okay, so yes, flex आज कराऊं या आज ही करा देता हूं, okay yeah आज ही कर लेते हैं, so flex, yeah, so now see how many ways there are, there are two ways, two ways to align your elements in browser. दो ही तरीके हैं, there are two ways to align, one is either you will align okay, thank you Divyansh buddy, thank you so much, right, so there are two ways to align your elements. The first one is either you can align it left to right, दो ही तरीके हैं, सी इट्स नॉट अ 3D पार्ट, राइट, ब्राउजर अभी 3D नहीं है हमारे पास, अभी हमारा ब्राउजर 2D, ऑल्दो 3D है, ऑल्दो 3D है, बट अभी के लिए हम एज्यूम कर रहे हैं 2D वाले पार्ट के लिए, राइट, now we have two ways, either I can align my elements left to right, right, left to right, or I can align my elements top to bottom. These are the two different ways, these are the two different ways in which I can align my elements, right. Is there any other way, is there any other way, is there any other way Janta, tell me, is there any other way to align the items, is there any other way to align the items? No, right? There is no other way to align the elements. Yes, you can say horizontally, you can say horizontally, but if you see, just try to understand this thing very carefully. If you are placing one, if you are placing one item like horizontally or diagonally, so what you are doing? So what you are doing nothing, right? You are doing nothing, but you are placing the item in the left side, right? In the left side of the previous one and in the bottom of the previous one. So अगर हम horizontally place कर रहे हैं तो पुराने वाले के लेफ्ट में और बॉटम में जा रहा है. So technically there are two ways only, right? Left and horizontal and vertical, right? So if you want to place your elements in any of these direction, right, flex will help there, flex will help there, right? So there are there are two, guys just give me a second, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, sorry guys, that was an important call. Okay. Yep. Now see, there are two axes, right? There are two axes in Flex. Okay. So there are two axes in Flex, right? The first one is main axis, right? Main and क्रॉस एक्सिस. ओके, तो फ्लेक्स में मेरे पास हमेशा दो एक्सिस होती है. द फर्स्ट वन इज मेन एक्सिस, राइट? मेन एक्सिस. ओके, मेन एक्सिस. एंड द सेकंड वन इज योर क्रॉस एक्सिस, राइट? एक मेन एक्सिस और एक क्रॉस एक्सिस. नाउ ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, और आई कैन से और x and y axis. ठीक है. Now try to understand this thing very carefully. Now these axes, right? Now the arrangement of elements, right, depends on the direction in which you want to place them, or place the elements, or I can say the axis, main and क्रॉस एक्सिस. So now try to understand this thing very clearly. भाई ये बहुत ध्यान से सुनना प्लीज. This is very important, right? So there are two main axes in Flex. One is cross axis and one is main axis, या जिसको आप कह सकते हो x axis and y axis, right? So x axis कौन सा हुआ? Which is horizontal axis, right? X axis is horizontal axis and y axis is your vertical axis. No, मैं इसको हटा देता हूँ. यस, ऐसा ठीक है. हाँ, हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सिस कौन सा हुआ? एक्स एक्सिस होता है. वर्टिकल एक्सिस कौन सा हुआ? वाई एक्सिस हुआ, राइट? नाउ सी, अब फ्लेक्स की अगर मैं बात करूं, फ्लेक्स पे दो एक्सिस हैं. एक इज मेन एक्सिस एंड द अदर वन इज क्रॉस एक्सिस. सो अब मेन एक्सिस कौन सी है एंड क्रॉस एक्सिस कौन सी है, ये टोटली डिपेंड करता है ऑन योर डायरेक्शन. This totally depends on your direction, right? What will be your main axis, what will be your cross axis? This totally will depend upon the direction of which you are using. So now suppose, now we have two directions, right? Now flex has two directions, as I told you. One is row and column. We have two directions. The first one is row direction and the second one is column direction, right? So what is row? When you align elements in horizontal, right? When you align elements in the horizontal line, so that is my row, right? That is my row direction. And when you align elements in vertical line, so that is my column direction, right? So now what will be your main axis and what will be your cross axis? That totally depends upon your direction. So if direction is row, means you are aligning elements with x axis, right? Means you are aligning element with x axis. So मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं अभी देखो. Now if my direction is row, right, means what I am doing, I am aligning my elements with respect to the x axis, right? मैं अपने elements को align कर रहा हूं with respect to the x axis. So now what will happen, since I am aligning my elements with this x axis, so main axis of flex is x. So main axis of flex will be x, right? Main axis of flex will be x. And ये ध्यान से समझ लेना, this is बहुत important. If my direction is column, right, means you are aligning with the y axis, so main axis will be y. Understand this thing very carefully, राइट? ध्यान से समझो, मैंने क्या बोला कि इफ माय डायरेक्शन इज रो, अगर मेरी डायरेक्शन रो है तो रो मींस आई एम अलाइनिंग एलिमेंट विद द एक्स एक्सिस, मैं एलिमेंट्स को अलाइन कर रहा हूं एक्स एक्सिस के हिसाब से, तो मेरा मेन एक्सिस क्या होगा? मेरा मेन एक्सिस विल ऑलवेज बी एक्स, मेरा जो मेन एक्सिस होगा फ्लेक्स का दैट विल ऑलवेज बी एक्स। एंड अगर मेरी डायरेक्शन कॉलम है, अगर मेरी डायरेक्शन कॉलम है तो मेरा मेन एक्सिस जो होगा, मेन एक्सिस विल बी y, तो मेरा मेन एक्सिस y होगा। नाउ सी, विद माय डायरेक्शन, with my direction my main axis and cross axis is getting changed, तो अगर मेरा डायरेक्शन रो है तो मेन एक्सिस x होगा, अगर मेरा डायरेक्शन कॉलम है तो मेन एक्सिस विल बी y। यहां तक क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? फर्स्ट टेल मी दिस, यहां तक क्लियर हुआ क्या? टेल मी, यहां तक क्लियर हुआ क्या? एनी डाउट सो फार? जनता, किसी को कोई डाउट है तो बता दो। So again I am repeating, if my flex direction is row, main axis will be x, if my flex direction is column, main axis will be y, right? Main axis will be y. Now when you are aligning the elements, now there are two ways in flex. In flex we use two properties to align elements, right? The first one is justify content and align items. Okay, ये दो तरीके होते हैं। These are the two ways to align, these are the two properties that we use to align the elements in flex, ठीक है? Now justify content और align items, ठीक है? ये दो तरीके हैं अपने flex में अपने उनको align करने के। अब justify content कैसे काम करता है और align item कैसे काम करता है ये भी समझ लो। So justify content work always, justify content always, OLWALWAYS, always works with main axis। justify content जो है वो हमेशा main axis के साथ काम करता है, and align item जो है, align items 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 always works with क्रॉस एक्सिस। तो जस्टिफाई कंटेंट हमेशा मेन एक्सिस से काम करता है और अलाइन आइटम्स हमेशा क्रॉस एक्सिस पे काम करता है, ठीक है? तो बस ये बात याद रखना, हमेशा इतनी बात याद रखना। अभी के लिए इतना ही करते हैं, ठीक है? फ्लेक्स हम डिटेल में कल करेंगे, अभी के लिए इतना करते हैं बस, ठीक है? अभी के लिए इतना करते हैं, फ्लेक्स डिटेल में हम कल करेंगे, और मीडिया क्वेरी कल हो जाएगा यार, ठीक है? मीडिया क्वेरी कल हो जाएगा, डोंट वरी। ओके, तो बस इतना याद रखना, मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूं एक बार दोबारा से। सो देयर आर टू वेज टू अलाइन योर एलिमेंट्स इन ब्राउजर, राइट? दैट इज, द फर्स्ट वे इज horizontally and second way is vertically, right? First way is horizontal, second way is vertical, right? And there are two axes in flex, one is main axis and one is cross axis, right? Then we have the main and cross axis totally depends upon direction in which you want to place the elements, right? The main and cross axis totally depends upon the direction in which you want to place your elements, and there are two direction in flex, one is row direction and second one is column direction. So if your flex direction is row, right, your main axis of flex will be x and cross axis of flex will be y। तो अगर मेरा डायरेक्शन रो है तो मेरा मेन एक्सिस x होगा और क्रॉस एक्सिस y होगा, right? And if your direction is column, right, then your main axis will be y and cross axis will be x, ठीक है? And we have two properties to align the elements, one is justify content and the second one is align items। So justify content हमेशा works with main axis and align items always works with cross axis, ठीक है? ठीक है, इतना चीज डन हुआ क्या? इतना चीज डन हुआ? अगर इतना चीज डन हुआ है देन वी विल यूज दिस फ्लेक्स प्रॉपर्टी टुमारो, ठीक है? हम फ्लेक्स प्रॉपर्टी कल यूज करेंगे, बट टिल देन आई हैव अ गेम, जो गेम तुम लोग को करना है, राइट? यू हैव टू प्ले दिस गेम। Froggy Flex. Okay, FROGGY, Froggy Flexbox. This is a game, right? This is a game, right? Froggy Flexbox. Flexbox Froggy is the game, right? Please try this. Who was asking for the assignment? Who was asking for the assignment? So this is your assignment. This is your assignment. Please complete these 24 levels, right? Once you are done with this 24 levels, Flexbox, you are done with the Flexbox. Okay, right? You are done with the Flexbox. Okay. So once you are done with this, please complete these 24 levels. Okay, ये 24 levels complete कर लो. Thank you so much, Sumit, to rate me 10 out of 8 out of 10. Thank you so much, buddy. Okay, डन है. डन है गाइस. ये 24 लेवल्स कंप्लीट करना. अगर कहीं फंसो, विल डू इट टुमारो. डोंट वरी. अगर कहीं फंसेंगे तो हम कल करेंगे. ठीक है, अगर हम फंसेंगे तो हम कल करेंगे. डोंट वरी. हाँ दिव्यांश भाई, क्या पूछना है तुम्हें? Sir, more things like this web for development. Huh? There's more things like this for web development. अच्छा, we have a Froggy Flexbox, right? Flexbox clear करने के लिए we have a grid garden, right? एक grid garden है. That game is to clear your grid. ठीक है. And if you want more such things, right? Projects वगैरह अच्छे से करने हैं, तो अपन वहां पे फ्री कोड कैंप पे जा सकते हैं. फ्री कोड कैंप पे ऐसे काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं, राइट? ऐसे कई सारे गेम्स वगैरह हैं फ्री कोड कैंप पे, जहां पे हम खेल सकते हैं ये सारी चीजें, राइट? तो दैट विल डेफिनेटली क्लियर योर क्वेरीज. ओके, if you are done with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, then you can go for this thing, Redux and all, and then start giving the interviews. That's it. तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन क्या है ऋषभ भाई? आई डेंट सी योर क्वेश्चन बड़ी. See, Anjali, if you are facing problem with the grid and flex, so I would recommend to learn flex only. ठीक है, I would recommend animation का यार देखता हूँ. I am not sure animation का cover हो पाएगा कि नहीं. कल के लिए काफी सारी चीजें हैं. ID class बताना है, Flexbox बताना है, right? मीडिया क्वेरीज बतानी है. एनिमेशन का आई एम नॉट श्योर. अगर थोड़ा बहुत एक्सटेंड हो जाता है तो एक्सटेंड करके आई विल कवर एनिमेशन ऑल्सो. ठीक है. तो या हाँ, मैं ग्रिड और फ्लेक्स की बात कर रहा था. तो ग्रिड और फ्लेक्स इज समथिंग कि अगर आपको नहीं हो पा रहा है, सी, इफ यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद ग्रिड, नो वरीज, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. गो फॉर फ्लेक्स. बस एक मास्टर कर लो, फ्लेक्स मास्टर कर लो. ठीक है, फ्लेक्स इज मोर देन इनफ. ठीक है, फ्लेक्स इज मोर देन इनफ. लाइक फ्लेक्स के मतलब फ्लेक्स से ऑलमोस्ट सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं, राइट? फ्लेक्स से हो जाती है. सो इफ यू आर फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम विद ग्रिड, don't worry, but flex is important. Flex is must, I can say, right? Flex is must, I can say. Okay, so you have to use flex. ठीक है, you have to use flex. एक्स्ट्रा क्लास ले लो बट एनिमेशन कवर करवा दो. एक्स्ट्रा क्लास ले लो बट एनिमेशन कवर करवा दो. ठीक है, कल थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम एक्सटेंड कर लेंगे अपन. ठीक है, कल मे बी वी कैन कीप इट टिल 9. ठीक है, कल अपन 9 बजे तक लग के एनिमेशन खत्म करवा देंगे. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हो जाएगा वो भी. और बताओ. फ्रॉगी भाई, इतना सारा नहीं हो पाएगा कल. इतना सारा कल नहीं हो पाएगा दोस्त. अगर मैं फ्रॉगी गेम कंप्लीट कराने लग गया तो आधा घंटा पौना घंटा तो मेरा फ्रॉगी गेम में लग जाएगा. आई एम नॉट श्योर. ठीक है, बट विल ट्राई टू कवर द मोस्ट दैट आई कुड टुमारो. ठीक है जी, डन करें अपन. बनाना देना सर, एक रोड मैप बना देना भाई. ना सब कुछ भाई. तुम एक काम करो, लेट्स अपग्रेड को बोल के मेरे सेशन लगवा लो, मैं सब कुछ बता दूंगा. ठीक है. ओके देन जनता, आई गेस वी आर गुड टू गो देन. चलें गाइस. ओके देन, मिलते हैं कल आपसे. ओके, लेट्स अपग्रेड. आई गेस वी आर गुड टू एंड द सेशन. थैंक यू गाइस, बाय बाय.